for it. There we go. Coming down here. 3, 2, and 1. Well, Mayor Shane, looking good. Looking good.
Yeah, Mayor Weiss is always so sharply dressed. I figured I should give you a shot sometime.
Absolutely.
I do own a tie and a jacket.
No. Yeah, exactly. We will neither confirm nor deny that that's the shirt and tie that you got married in or anything like that. But
we will not.
Welcome to Mayor's Monday here at WSAU, WSAU.com. You've been busy here today.
Yeah, it's been busy.
Yeah, it's certainly, there's a lot been going on there down in Wisconsin Rapids. First thing I wanted to ask you about is something that I don't know that a lot of people know about this, but you're going to be declaring, actually, or I should say you did declare over the weekend, Constitution Day in Wisconsin Rapids. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, it's and I didn't know a lot about it until I had a resident call me and kind of inform me and educate me a little bit about the 17th being Constitution Day and the significance, as the day they signed the Constitution. We recognize July 4th as our Independence Day, but obviously it didn't start on July 4th, and that process started prior to that. And so, Constitution Day is an important day, and no matter what's going on in the world right now, and the events and the polarization of different things going on, it's still Constitution Day, and it's still important to remember that we do have a Constitution, and we need to celebrate that. Because of what's going on now, it's because of that Constitution. The ballot it's kind of speak your mind and your thoughts, and I think that's important.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, not a lot of people have known about this, but then again, not a lot of people knew, let's say, for even the significance of Juneteenth before that that became a federal holiday. And not a lot of people knew of the significance of certain other holidays before somebody speaks up about it. So this is kind of your way of just reminding everybody of what happened on this day.
Yeah, and you go to my Facebook page and you're going to see a video with trivia on there regarding surrounding Constitution Day, some interesting factoids. And so, yeah, if you want to check it out, come on and check it out.
So what was your favorite piece of trivia then regarding Constitution Day, besides, the fact that John Hancock wanted everybody to know who he was, so he signed his name so fancily?
Yeah, and you caught me off guard because one of the things I found unique was that it wasn't a U.S. citizen that helped form Constitution Day. It was a foreign citizen. So, yeah, you have to come and check that out and kind of read a little bit about him and his involvement in Constitution Day.
Well, again, that's all right there on your Facebook page. So we'll direct everybody there to find out all the details. I know, I believe WSAU Wisconsin Morning News did some talking about it as well. In fact, I've been told that now all the way through the 23rd is Constitution Week. So we're supposed to be celebrate this and recognize this all week, and again raise awareness for what that means for our country and the freedoms and everything that we get to enjoy today because of it. And of course, a part of that we get to enjoy today and everything because of that is the way that local governments are set up. And you're doing a lot this week. Not only is it budgeting time, but you're also still talking about the transportation utility and how to get that off the ground.
Yes. So we have a meeting on our next council meeting, which is on September 21st. We have a council meeting where it's going to have the public hearing on it for the transportation utility and council discussion. And so this is kind of the big kickoff to potentially approving it or denying it. So we are encouraging participation and involvement, or call your alderman or call our office to express your support or your concerns with the utility.
And again, to remind everybody what we're talking about here, this is something that would take special assessments, which is, Shane, you've gotten one or two of those in your lifetime. Those can run up to tens of thousands of dollars depending on what happens to the street in front of you. And instead of that cost being borne on one citizen, it would maybe be spread out among everybody. So everybody would maybe see a $20 or a $30 hike in their property tax, but that money then would go into the special assessment. Should we call it a savings account?
Yeah, it's a utility savings account, and we figure we don't have the final numbers because they're still working on some property classifications. But for an average resident, most residential people will see about a $9 increase on their utility bill in a month. And so that's where that money would go to pay for what special assessments. And we're also going to transfer what we borrow every year, about $1.5 million to $2 million. Going to take that, not borrowing it, so we're not paying interest, we're not paying closing fees on that, and put that in that utility. And so ultimately that should bring down our tax levy a bit and kind of spread it out that way.
Well, I think everybody likes your number better. I was going to charge them $30. You're going to charge them $9. See, that's why you're the mayor and I'm not.
$20 we would have would be way too much. So $9 a month is
yeah.
what we need to get it started and make it kind of fill what we want to do.
So yeah, and this is something again it's very unique. We haven't really found any place else in Wisconsin that does something like this. So I guess the pressure's on you. You could be setting a trend here.
So I there's a couple that are just a little bit ahead of us, but like Neenah, I believe, is going to enact theirs and start on October 1st is their first billing cycle for it. Or I can't remember. It might be Neenah, but there's a couple of places in the state. Janesville was one that they're kind of working for it. But I called out and I spoke to several communities out in Oregon and roughly our same size. And they've had this model out there for, early 2000s. And so they've been utilizing this. And so they've kind of been a test case. And I wanted to call them and ask them, since you enacted this, would you have done something different? Would you set it up differently? Did you find out something that you didn't necessarily think of when you set it up? And it seemed like we have our bases covered pretty well with our consultants that helped us design this. And hopefully, everything never goes off without a hitch, but maybe we'll have to wait and see.
Maybe, yes,
Maybe.
Exactly. So what have you found? This is the feedback been then from those communities in the Pacific Northwest. Have they liked it, disliked it? What's the feedback been?
One of the engineers I spoke to says the best thing their community ever did. So I've heard a lot of positive, very little concerns, but it's kind of hard to compare Wisconsin to Oregon because their taxing system is different, how they set that up. Uniquely, I called the city of Austin down in Texas because they have a transportation utility. Unfortunately, they have about 14,000 employees in the city of Austin, period, which is about how many people we probably have in Wisconsin Rapids. And so it really wasn't a good comparison, but they had a very big department that oversaw their utility. So it is a little more common around the country, just newer to our area.
Right. And again, the citizens will have the chance to have input on this. Give them the details on that one more time if they like.
September 21st, Tuesday is our city council meeting, and there'll be a public hearing where people will be able to speak in favor or against this ordinance.
Again, that's something we're looking forward to, and I'm certainly as a taxpayer in Wausau interested to see how this goes and how it could be implemented elsewhere as well. We're certainly going to keep an eye on that. And then one more thing before we let you go, you've talked a lot about development along 8th Street in Wisconsin Rapids. I know you've got a lot going on there. Give us an update.
Yeah, so we've had some discussion about. We have a Starbucks being built now on 8th Street. Planning Commission on last Monday approved another coffee shop called Caribou Coffee, which is kind of moving to the east from Minnesota. And there's been a lot of conversation about another coffee shop in Rapids, because we seem to have plenty of coffee and pizza places, but ultimately it's an opportunity for some jobs. And then also the opportunity for our community to decide which coffee they prefer. I think the community will probably support most of the coffee shops around here. And we have A Street we have Lincoln High School got approved to get an addition built on there. Can't wait to see that done. It's got some class features and it's going to be really unique, and it's going to really tie all their previous additions over the years into one, which will be really nice. And then we also started our discussion at Plan Commission about the construction of the new jail facility. And so that process is starting. And so if citizens make sure to keep watching that over the next few months as that develops, and hopefully we'll see construction begin in the spring if everything gets pulled together.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot changing right there in that 8th Street area. First off, I've got to give you a compliment. You know, I've got history in Minnesota. That Minnesota accent was nearly perfect. The long O there on Minnesota, that was nearly perfect. So I'm going to give you a compliment on that, being a former Minnesotan myself at one time or another. But the coffee and the things like that, those may seem like little things. Those may seem like just a few jobs here and there, but it really can make a difference as far as quality of life in the community.
Well, it's nice to see that you can drive down A Street and there's, new buildings where old buildings once stood that were kind of at their end of life and they're starting to look tired. And so now we're going to have new buildings standing in those. And I think new buildings on our main street is a good attractant for other opportunities.
Absolutely. And then you talked about the additions to Lincoln High School there in Wisconsin Rapids. You've got, of course, the sports fields going up. What else is going up over there?
Yeah, so just you kind of covered what it was, is the addition on Lincoln High School. So it's a new addition on the front side of the school, and it's going to kind of change to better improve security in our schools. So our community, I think last year passed a referendum to to include these enhancements on that project or on our schools to create kind of a funneled entrance that have to go through an office versus just walking in freely. But yeah, it's going to look really nice, and it's really going to tie together the school and then the new sports complex going on over there. It's just going to kind of have a new look that's really going to be nice in the community.
And then finally, again, everybody, we know the new jail is going to be going there in Wisconsin Rapids as well. The right-sized jail, the more modern facility as well. Talk about what that's going to mean for the community, because obviously it's a county project, but it is going right there in the city of Wisconsin Rapids.
Yeah, so the existing jail has been, I wish I knew the date, but it was old. In my former life of a police officer, I spent a little time in there, and it was time for updating. It was time to modernize it. Apparently we spend about $1 million a year housing inmates out of county, so it was just kind of getting to that point where we need to do something different. And so it's going to increase the campus size over there. Potentially it looks like we're going to vacate a road, sprawl into a parking lot that's part of the courthouse, and hopefully then everything I've been told that it'll be designed and it'll look nice and it'll fit in downtown, and it won't look like a big modern secure jail kind of thing.
Absolutely. Well, Mayor Shane, we always appreciate the time here on Mayor's Monday. Again, looking good this time. The bar's been set. We're gonna grade you next time around next month as well.
Yeah, don't accept the same bar, but for Mr. Weeza, yes.
Absolutely. Well, we always appreciate the time, and we'll look forward to chatting again next month.
Sounds great. Good seeing you.